I am Massive Groot. I am Massive Groot. I am Massive Groot. I am Massive Groot. Is that I am Massive Groot? I am Massive Groot.
Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercuts!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today I'm reviewing the movie A Monster Calls. This is directed by Bayona, who's directed such films as The Impossible and this one, The Orphanage, very good film. It stars Felicity Jones, Sigourney Weaver, Tony Kebbell, MacDougall, and the voice of Liam Neeson. This is a story about a boy named Connor, who's played by MacDougall. He's got a lot of problems at home. He's got a lot of difficult situations, and it's really affecting him at school. He's getting bullied at school. His mum, played by Felicity Jones, she's very ill. His dad, who's played by Toby, he's kind of just flits in and out of his life. And he really doesn't get on with his grandma, who's played by Sigourney Weaver. His frustration manifests itself as kind of a rage. He smashes a lot of things up and all that, trying to externalize it, and he kind of retreats into himself. With his artwork, and he's got his music playing on his personal stereo, and he's gone about his business, trying to get through all what he's going through. He's then visited in his dream by a big, massive monster tree, who initially tells him that that he's going to tell him 3 stories, and Connor has to tell him a 4th story, which sounds a little odd. But as a film story plays on, it kind of does make sense. I didn't know a lot about the film on going to watch it. I saw the trailer, and like I said before, it looks and sounds very odd. But the idea of a young lad having trouble at home and at school and what have you, and how the heck this massive tree kind of fits into any part of this domestic kind of environment, which like I said, that's what it looked like on the trailer. It just really intrigued me, and the glimpses of certain things that may or may not occur in the film, like when I was watching the trailer, I thought maybe drew parallels with things that I went through growing up, certain things, apart from this big talking tree thing. And after a few minutes of watching the film, it becomes very apparent to me, in my opinion anyway, that it's a very well made film, very well directed and shot, and the cinematography is great, the composition, the framing, everything, to get into this world, this intimate world of Connor and what he's going through, it really drew me into it. And there's lots of visual metaphors throughout, and there's some great CGI, in order to create the big tree monster. I don't think it was just Liam Neeson in a big rubber tree. I think some CGI was involved, and just to create the kind of destruction in some of the scenes and the nightmares and so on. It's really well done. And front and centre of the story is Connor. I feel MacDougall does a really great job at conveying all the emotions that's required for his character throughout the story. It's a very emotional film. How he deals with what he sees and the information he has to process, and how he goes about venting his anger and frustration, and how he interacts with the other characters in the story. I feel it's a really great, honest performance by him, and also how they use shallow depth of field. When Connor's in shot and he's in focus, and there's say 1 or 2 characters who are approaching him from the background, and they're out of focus. And as they approach, they get to him. They are then now in focus, but it also remained in focus on Connor, which makes to me it makes sense because he's the focus of the film. It's all these visual styles and tricks, and if you will, kind of like that. It's kind of stuff I appreciate, and also liked how they showed him kind of retreating into his own world, if you will, with his artwork and his music and so forth. It's certainly something I can relate to personally, and something that got me. This kind of also reminded me of a character in a film called Son of Rambo that came out a few years back. If you've not seen Son of Rambo, I advise you to do so. It's a very lovely film. So after all this is established, the monster tree comes into play. As I said, I love the visual effects of this, and the CGI is great when it's realising this monster tree as it springs to life. There's a good use of, let's say, low angle shots, a top down perspective, and wide shots really give you a sense of scale, just how massive this thing is. This story is based on the book. I've not read it, but it's what I got from it is the stories that the tree tells Connor is kind of reflecting certain aspects of his life, and also how he must, kind of in a weird way, how he must overcome them, kind of thing. That's what I got from it anyway. These stories are brought to life with vivid animation. It's a mix of pastel watercolours contrasted with dark, inky imagery. It's really well done. The second story kind of bleeds into like his real life, in his dream, as he's smashing stuff up. It flips back into the real world, and you see the kind of destruction in the real world Connor has actually done. He's trashed his grandma's room, including a family heirloom, which is kind of established like early on in the film. I feel Connor's relationship with his mum is handled really well. There's a scene of the two of them watching the original King Kong on an old projector, and as they're doing so, it sets up certain things like visual and verbal metaphors throughout the story. Also feel Felicity Jones was a good, effective, understated performance as his mum. Toby Kebbell as a dad is personally not given a lot to do in this story. As I said, it's established that his dad just flits in and out of Connor's life now and again. They share some pretty good bonding moments and so on. And with the material, Toby Kebbell does a nice understated performance and so forth. Also, can't really fault Sigourney either in this. She, as a grandma, she's got some emotional heavy lifting to do now and again, and it's really well done. Overall, I like this film a lot. It's really well directed. There's an excellent central performance by MacDougall, and some really good acting throughout. The CGI visual effects are amazing. It's really a lot of fun to watch how things happen and so forth. They're really well done, and I did really like Liam Neeson as well with the voice. He's very natural with a tree. It kind of makes sense as you're watching it. It fits well together and so forth. That was one of the things I was wondering how it's all gonna work, but for me, it really does work. And as I said, certain elements of the story and the central character, it really spoke to me. I can relate a lot to what he's going through, all the rest of it. So I'm not sure if people will get as much out of it, will resonate with people who maybe haven't been in kind of similar situations as a central performers, but I don't know. Just let me know how you feel. All in all, it's very, very good. I've got a new scoring system for me film reviews, so I'm gonna give this one 8 Qui-Gons out of 10. So do you agree or what? Just let me know your opinions. Them's mine. Just let me know down below in the comment section, down there, and like, subscribe, and everything, and tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the new Cyrus, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.